Okay, here's a thought for you. What if the very thing that makes us human, our intelligence, became as common and as easy to get as tap water? That's the huge question we're tackling today. We're diving deep into the future of our jobs in an age of AI, and our guide is the man who's actually building the engine for this whole revolution. Now, to understand where we're headed, we're actually going to start by looking back, way back, like 2,500 years. Confucius said, better a flawed diamond than a pebble. This idea, this concept of unique, imperfect value, is absolutely the key to figuring out our place in a world filled with artificial intelligence. So keep that phrase in your head, a flawed diamond. So let's ask it straight up. Is intelligence just becoming a utility? Something you can just turn on whenever you need it to power your ideas? And if that's true, what does that mean for us? Could it help us solve the world's biggest challenges? Maybe even the ones we don't know how to describe yet? To help us navigate this whole new world, we're going to turn to the guy who is, quite literally, building it. Nvidia's CEO, Jensen Huang. See, he's not just talking about the future. His company is creating the very hardware that's making all of this possible. Jensen Huang's story is basically the American dream on steroids. He came to the US from Taiwan as a kid, co-founded Nvidia back in 1993, and built it into this absolute tech giant. His secret? A completely relentless work ethic. It's fueled by this deep, all-consuming passion for innovation that pretty much blurs any line between work and life. And that passion? Well, it's built an empire. To really get a sense of Nvidia's dominance, just look at this number, 80%. That's their share of the market for the special chips that are powering the entire AI revolution. They are, for all intents and purposes, the engine of the future. And this timeline really tells the story of Nvidia's just meteoric rise. I mean, from a startup literally founded in a Denny's booth to a $5 trillion behemoth, they have become the one piece of hardware you just can't do without in the AI revolution. It's an unbelievable story of vision and just plain execution. But with all this incredible power comes this huge fear. It's a question that you hear in offices, in classrooms, pretty much everywhere. Is AI going to destroy our jobs? And that, right there, is the question at the absolute heart of the great job debate. Stephen Hawking once said that intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. And you could argue that AI is the biggest change of our lifetime. So the real question isn't whether AI itself is intelligent, it's how are we going to adapt? And this debate is really split right down the middle into two completely different visions of what our future looks like. So the pessimists, they see this tidal wave of automation just wiping out entire categories of work. Admin jobs, entry-level roles, just leaving a trail of displaced workers. But the optimists, they see a tool that will supercharge human potential, creating whole new industries and jobs we can't even imagine right now. Both sides have some really valid points. But to really get a handle on this, Jensen Huang says we need to look at a real-world example. And that brings us to the really fascinating case of radiology. When AI first showed up on the scene, pretty much everyone predicted it was the end for radiologists. It seemed like the perfect job for an algorithm to just take over. But what actually happened was something nobody saw coming. Yeah, it's something called the radiology paradox. The fear was that AI would flat out replace radiologists. But the reality? It kind of made them superhuman. With AI as their co-pilot, they could do more, see more, diagnose with way more accuracy. And because of that, the demand for their expertise didn't just stay the same, it actually went up. So let me ask you this. What would you do if you could finish a whole week's worth of work in a single second? Be honest. Would you just take the rest of the week off? Or would you try to solve an even bigger problem? History shows us time and again, we always choose the bigger problem. We're an ambitious species, always looking for the next mountain to climb. Okay, so if AI takes over all the boring, repetitive stuff, what's left for us to do? Well, the answer is all the interesting stuff, the creative work, the stuff that actually requires a human mind. Think of it this way. AI is like the ultimate assistant. It can handle all the tedious, time-sucking tasks, which frees us up to focus on what really matters, coming up with big ideas, solving complex problems, and being right on that critical path where human judgment makes all the difference. And this is basically our new job description, to tackle poorly defined work. See, AI is amazing at solving problems that have clear, well-defined rules. Our domain? That's the messy, ambiguous frontier, the problems that don't even have a name yet. Our job is to be the explorers, the innovators, the dreamers. Honestly, that's a job I'd sign up for. So after all that, what does this all mean for you and for me? As we're standing right on the edge of this new era, what's our role in this whole story of AI? The story of AI is pretty much the story of every great innovation. First, they ignore you. Then, they laugh at you. Then, you change the world. The question really is, are you going to be one of the people who helps change it? So, we come full circle. In a world where intelligence is everywhere, the most valuable thing you can possibly be is just yourself. Your unique perspective, your creativity, your empathy, your gut feeling. That's your flawed diamond. And in the age of AI, discovering that diamond and polishing it, well, that's more precious than ever before.